Oh no, this isn't working because I have my mic on. Ha! Okay. Well, good evening everyone and welcome to the channel. Welcome back in case you were here before. And yeah, let me just, this music is too loud. Better. So, the last few streams somewhere about hexagon content creation. I had a few about Yahaha, and now for 2023 and following. For 2023 and following, depending on how long I will keep this up, but probably forever. Okay. I want to do a month. So last year I already wanted to do a monthly animation, and as you may have seen, I did one in January, and then I stopped because I'm a lazy person, and so I want to start this again. I want to do a monthly animation, I want to do a monthly live stream, so I thought for January at least I can combine both into one. So today I'm going to have this half a tutorial where I show you what Daz Studio can do in this regard and what it can't do. Partially, yeah, so this is basically what the stream will be about. I will animate this figure. I will do the animation myself. Yeah, so let's dive right into it. You see the Daz Studio, so you see my Daz Studio. Yeah, setup. I have the scene tab, the environment tab, everything on the side. I have the all the other stuff like posing, shaping, whatever on the other side. Viewport in the middle as usual, and down in the corner. You know what? Wait, give me a second. Let's use these. So this is what we have them for. Down here in the corner, we have timeline and animate light. These are two functions that you haven't seen me use yet. Give me a second. And I'll show you what they can do. I usually work with a timeline. I will quickly show you what animate light can do. Just for the completion thing before we go and start with animation. Spoilers, I will not finish the animation today. I will probably finish it tomorrow, upload it in a video. But this takes a lot of time, and I'm streaming for 1 to 2 hours depending on how the whole thing goes, how I feel and everything. So I haven't been super in super shape the last few days, but good enough so that we can do at least 1 to 2 hours here. Yeah, and I also meant to do this for quite some time, so here we are. So let's start with animate light, which I don't really use, but it's a thing. So this is a very simple thing. It basically gives you the list of all the figures in the scene. It gives you a frame time 1, 2, 3, 4 up, the frame number, and you have the play and go to and loop and whatever buttons. And down here you have a drop down menu where you can have dance and fighting and gestures and all kinds of interesting thing you might want to animate, ups and downs, walks. And you have these blocks down here which depend on whatever you have selected. And if you just hover over one of these, for example spin, you can see that the figure is now doing the animation. And you can basically just drag and drop these into this graph here basically, and if I have a second figure, you could basically drop these into different could drop these into different figures so that you have different figures do different moves. And if you just play this, then you can see basically that the whole thing is nope, this was not what we wanted. Yeah, so you can basically animate the figure with pre-installed animations. You can also go to mixamo.com and download. So Mixamo is the site, the webpage where you can find animations, and I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think they are more or less free. So you can basically just grab those, or you pay a fee, or you have to make an account. I'm not sure. I don't use it. I just know it exists, and you can download these and install these or import these in Daz Studio and use those as well. Yeah, and yeah, can even do stuff like this. So you can basically just animate with given blocks for a chain. This is animate light, and this is all that I can or will say to animate light because I don't really use it. What I use is the timeline and the fun part of doing all this myself. So let's start with what we actually have. So animate timeline has a very simple timeline. Sometimes it looks even simpler. You have just the line with the frames. Right click on the name timeline, and on view mode you can have basic, intermediate, and advanced view. I usually use intermediate, which just gives me this neat panel with number of frames and frames per second and something like keynotes and stuff that I can use to just make keynotes, and I will explain this in a bit. There's also the advanced view, which is not really that great, where you have basically all the different things that are existing in your scene, and you can work with single nodes and stuff. But yeah, this is rather complex, so I'm usually going by intermediate view. For the other things, you can basically just work with translation, rotation, and alias or scale. You can work all different types of things on your animation. This depends on what you want to do, and music is already too loud again. Why? Okay, this should be, I don't know if you can hear it, but for me it's really loud. So yeah. Okay, enough explanation before the film. So we start with a simple pose. I should go in files, poses, by function, dancing. Okay, let's start with this. So this will be our starting pose, and I will try to make a loop of 3 seconds that can be looped infinitely. So this is basically the start and the end pose, and we want to come back to this when we are done. So right now we only have 30 frames, so 1 second. You can change the number of frames per second. You can also change the number of total frames. This is one more than we have frames per second, because this basically starts with 0, and then you go through 30 different frames. So we are going for 91, which means we have a total of 3 seconds that the whole thing runs, but we can see that nothing actually happens because we haven't set any frames yet. So what we're going to do is we're not going to work on 90 frames because we are not insane. I mean, at least you are not. I am discussable if I'm sane. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. What we're going to do is we're going to work on keyframes. We're going to grab every 5, every 4, whatever we want, every 6 frames. So basically, we can pull this marker here to wherever we want. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give this character a new pose. So actually, let's get back to the start. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this a bit. So this is actually like hanging vertically. Okay, so now we're going to frame number 5, which is like 1/6 of a second in. And for the beginning, we're going to just change something very simple. We're going to bend down the knee to the side, reduce the twist. Going to reduce the bend on the foot. We're going to increase the bend on the toe. We're also grabbing the toe, and now there's something interesting here. You need to go out of the way, thank you. So if we grab the toe, we have this neat little pin here, and this pin is important for us for exactly this one thing. So whenever we animate, because we can tap this pin and then we can pin translation, rotation, we can unpin select, we can unpin all, we can enable or disable pins. So what does a pin do? It pins something, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to pin the translation. Translation is the coordinates of this, so basically where this is in the world. And what this does, I will show you in a second, because I will actually also pin the rotation. So now we have both pinned. You can see that the two symbols next to it, so we know that this is pinned. And now if I grab, for example, this leg, and I move this leg, you can see that the whole body is moving with this, at least partially, from the hip onward. But you can see that the pinned toe is not moving. So what pinning does is basically exactly what you would expect. No, we went on to twist it basically keeps whatever we have pinned exactly in the spot we want to. So now we're going to side this a bit, we're going to side this a bit, we're going to side this in the other direction. Okay, so now there's something interesting happening. Thanks. We're also grabbing the arms and we're going to unbend those for a bit. We're going to untilt the head. We're going to de-rotate the hair. Okay. So this is basically, let me grab the light and move it out of the way. Thank you. Now we are at frame number 5. And you can see that frame number 5 got this black marker. This means that in the moment that I changed something here, key 5 immediately became labeled as a keyframe, which means Everything in between is a normal frame. I would say a soft frame. This is not a industry standard or anything. This is just my personal word for it. So basically, keyframes are hard frames where I do the definitions. I'm saying what's going on. I'm saying what's what. I'm saying what's moving. And soft frames are basically what the PC computes in between. So basically, if I have if from 0 to 5, I have a degree change of like 45 degrees. 45, yes. Then he will break this down into 5 different parts, basically, and he will say, okay, if from 0 to 5 is 45 degrees, then from 0 to 1 it has to be 9 degrees, and then he's going 9 degrees with every frame. So let's check this out. What's going to happen is, yeah, you saw it. The whole thing moved. So now we're going to go to 10. And we're going to move the foot in front and bend the toes. Pin them in translation and rotation. Unpin translation and rotation on the other. On the other foot. So basically now we change the foot the figure stands on. So what we're going to do as well is we're going to change the standing foot of the figure, and we're going to change the whole stance. And I mean, in the end, I have to. I'm currently just working on this piece by piece and step by step. I'm not really on the point where I know what I'm going to. And what I also change is, or what I also will do is basically I will go over the whole figure like 3 to 4 times. I'm doing the legs right now. Then I'm going to check. Okay, what do I want to do with the arms? Then I'm going to do, okay, what do I want to do with the head? And then I'm going to check, okay, how would the hair behave? Would it float around? Yeah, I don't have any hair anymore, so I can't show you, but would it float around wildly and wave or not? I actually meant to use a thing that I bought, which is Spring Dynamics, but for some weird reason, I can't find the script. Neither in animations nor in utilities there should be a script which is labeled okay, interesting, which is labeled Spring Dynamics, which would basically give the what you usually see with female cartoon characters, the jiggliness. You know what I'm talking about? You absolutely do. And this would be possible with Spring Dynamics. I wanted to add this to the hair, so the hair basically has this flowiness from itself. So basically just the script basically just checks the animation, says, okay, how would this behave? Where would forces go? And how would it, what would the hair do? So I wanted to animate this, but I couldn't find the script, even though I have it installed. I checked. I definitely have it installed. But for some reason it's not showing. Okay, maybe I didn't check this one. Spring Dynamics. All products. Default storage changes, default resources. Yeah, for some reason it's not here. I don't know. So I can't use it. Anyway, let's get back to the task at hand. By the way, if you render this in the end, if you want to you can't, basically you can't set the viewport to a keynote, and then, or maybe you can, I didn't find out, but as far as I know, you can't have the viewport set, change it to another frame, so that the camera travels. You actually have to have the set and the character move. I don't know, I have never used create a new camera. It is possible that I actually can use the camera in this, since okay, now, oh, wait. Yeah, I want to cancel this. Thank you. So let's check. Perspective view is from the back, and camera is from the front. Let's check if we render what he renders. I never used the new camera, but okay. So maybe the camera is actually what we need if you want to move the camera around the whole scene while the character moves. Maybe I will try that this time. You apparently use new camera, you have a new camera, and then you can move the camera as a node, and the renders will be made from the node. We can actually, let's try this. Okay, let's add a camera. Okay, let's go to 5 and let's move the camera. Actually, we can do this way simpler. Okay. Oh, we can also. Okay, let's go to 10 and we are here with the camera. Okay. Now I'm curious. Okay, we maybe shouldn't... okay, let's delete the camera. Let's add a new one. Let's have it move way less. Okay, let's check on the camera. Okay, the character is completely in the camera. Character is completely in the camera. Okay, perfect. Yeah, now we have basically the camera movement when the whole scene goes forward, and you want to change the angle of the character. You basically use a new camera for this. Okay. Well, I learned something. That's something, I guess. Okay, so she puts her foot down, and right here she's going to shift her weight more to the right. We're going to unpin rotation. We're going to rotate this slightly. We're going to rotate this slightly. And the leg is going to get bent. It's going to get outside. The right shin is going to get bent, while the toe is getting unbent. And as I said, yeah, I'm basically just starting with the legs over the 90 frames, every 5 frames. Then I'm going to do the arms. Then I'm going to do the head, the face, the mimic, and the posing. Then I'm going to do the hair, and then I'm apparently going to do the camera. So we're working with every step here. And this is also why I don't use skirts, because then I would have to do the skirt also. Okay, maybe I'm not doing the skirt this time, but maybe next time. What I will also try, this is something you will see in the video tomorrow, most likely, is I will try to see if I can export the animation as an animation block, so I can basically just use it as an animation block. Yeah, I don't know yet. Okay, I'm going to delete the camera now because I actually want to see the whole movement before I do the camera. But the camera is a good tool to obstruct what you're actually like doing. So if you say, okay, this looks a bit stiff, just have a moving camera. I mean, you will still see it, but nobody else will. This is like the one trick that I always say is, you will know it. Yeah. For example, if you say, hey, I forgot to do the folds in the back, you know, but who else would ever know? I mean, I did them. You saw it in the video in the weekend, but who else would know? Nobody. That's who. So yeah, be a con artist, be a cheater, and do it simple and yeah, do yourself a favor. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So I guess I will try to do something like shuffle or something. I don't know. I'm not a dancer. Okay, so this is getting bent. This is actually getting unbent. And this is getting twisted and side. Okay. So what actually would also happen is that this would probably go to the side a bit in this direction. It would probably this looks hurdy. She would probably have to do this. And now you can see that the hips are actually moving. Okay, this needs to be twisted a lot more. This needs to be to the side a lot more. And I think we can already bend this. Okay, let's see. Kick. Okay, and she should, so she doesn't fall, she should twist her hips again, unbend the leg, sidestep so she doesn't fall, unbend the foot, probably go down with her hip a bit, and at this point we actually need to unpin all this. Unbend this. Because she's changing, she's not standing on her foot anymore. She's currently, so like here, she's still, so here, and here she's still somewhat stable on her foot, but you can already see that she's not stable anymore. She's in a form of free fall. So half of animation is actually having a feeling for how this movement would be. If I would do this, it would look absolutely ridiculous. Like 100%. This would look absolutely stupid. Because I'm not a dancer. Amongst other things. I mean, this outfit would. I could probably rock this outfit. Let's be honest here, okay? I could absolutely rock this outfit. Yeah, 100%. Besides that, you gotta have a feeling for what the body would do. Either have a friend or a kid or someone close or your girlfriend, boyfriend, hubby, whatever. Have them do this. Try to record it if they let you. Would be helpful. But you can basically see what the muscle groups do. So basically, at this point, from my experience, with moving and with having a human body, I actually have one of those. You can see that she's not stable. Yeah, this is not a stable position, and we all know this from experience. So at this point, we have to unpin the foot, because at this point she's basically falling. She's basically falling to the side, and as humans we have we can control this. So basically, she's already mentally preparing to come off on her foot. Yeah, do a side step, or the other side. So for this side, and as soon as the foot is down, we're going to pin it, because it's going to be the dominant standing foot now. But it's not quite there, as you can see. Yeah, let's check this out. Yeah, you can see that she's standing on the right foot, on her right foot. She's moving the standing foot already. She's currently like jumping. There she's standing again. Yeah, just a quick hop. She's going into the kick, and the kick is imbalancing her. Yeah, so she's falling, basically. This is a rather swift thing, because you can't fall in slow motion. This is not the Matrix. So, we're at 1 second. And what we're going to do is we're going to pin the foot translation, because she can't fall through the ground. And we're going to just grab this foot and pull it down. You can see that the whole body moves with it. Yeah, perfect. Actually, let's go back. We're going to want to have this here. We're going to want to pin the rotation as well. Now we're going to grab this, and she's coming in. We want this to be twisted. She's standing on it. This is a bit sprainy for the ankle, but hey, it's not a real person that has to do this. It's just an animated figure that has to do this, so we're good. Okay. Yeah, she's stable again. Yeah, we're going to pull this a bit. We're going to bend this a bit back. She's a bit further back than before. We're going to bend this a bit more upwards. Going to... Oh, this side is perfect. We're going to twist this, untwist it a bit, okay. A bit less strain on the ankle. And the whole body, yeah, we moved the whole body with her, so this is perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to grab the foot. We're going to unpin this. Yeah, remember, when we unpin this, it doesn't immediately change. Yeah, basically we pinned this, we moved everything, we unpinned this, it's still in the same position, because this was a possible position for the body. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to pin this foot. Pin translation, pin rotation for now. Going to unpin the rotation at some point. And what's going to happen now is we're going to actually pin this foot. Weight shift. The hip is the center of mass for a human body. Interesting fact. This is probably also the reason why the hip is one of the middle bodies, one of the middle bones, and the center body bone for the animation. I'm sorry, it's I had a long day. Anyway, So we pinned both feet on the ground, and center of mass is moving from one leg to the other. Okay, let's see. Doing here quick, cute, dancey move, kick, fall into the step, move center of gravity, almost. Now we are at the center, and you can see that the other leg is already stretched. And this is what we want. Now we want to grab this foot and unpin it. Now we want to move 5 frames further. This foot is still pinned. The center of mass of the hip moves upwards. Yeah, this also means that this leg gets unbent. The center of mass will probably also be a bit more in front. This leg is coming in, is getting back, because otherwise we would just fall, or she would just fall. And we're going to bend everything because we're going into the kick again. Okay. So 50. She's going to move her center. The center of mass will just move. This is just like, I don't know the English word, but this is what happens when people move, when objects move. They only stop when a considerable force is put upon them. Basic physics. I would know. Someone in my house has studied physics. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but they do. Hopefully. Okay, so center of mass moves upwards and to the side. The leg gets more bent while the shin gets more bent while the thigh already is on the frontwards movement. We will probably move the camera around her to the other side, actually, so that we don't have to see this scrambled London. So this is also a thing, yeah, with the camera. Like, if I would render this, I would render it from this direction, obviously, like I did before, because I don't want you to see this mess. There's no mess, actually. Like there is no mess, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously, and yeah, I'll try to hide everything I don't want to from the viewer in the end. So basically, if you see the video, you will know that there's a mess. If you just see the 3 seconds animation, you will never have any idea that there's some kind of mess, or there's some clipping, or that things are weird. You will just see the finished animation. And I have utmost respect for anyone who does multiple minutes of animation. Like, how do you do that? I mean, probably not like this. You're probably going to have the animate light, and you have your finished blocks, and you can just reuse them. Which, yeah, at some point this is, I don't know. At some point maybe I have like 20 blocks where I have like walking animations and running animations and stuff, and I can use it. That would be cool. But 20 animations would be like 2 years. Not quite, but kind of. I mean, maybe at some point I will do more animations. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, at some point you probably have just like complete experience of what you're doing, and you're just like doing this, okay, and you're like you have 3 seconds per hour or something, and then you can do longer stuff, which still would need years, but you know what I mean. Okay, where were we? Okay, yeah, she's going into the kick. Center of gravity is very far up. Okay, actually at this point she's going to stand on her toes again, We're going to translate the toes. We're going to unpin the feet, because she is going to go on her feet. On her toes. The leg is coming in, getting bent, getting twisted, and the foot is coming forward with the aforementioned 50 times aforementioned kick. More side, more twist. Okay, and whoop. Yeah. Whoop. So, what happens now is that apparently she has to move the other direction again, because there's considerable force when you kick. There's a certain force you emit, and your body will follow that force. So we are going to unbend this side, this, unbend this foot partially, and this will probably take more than 3 seconds of the whole thing. So let's go for 121. I mean, this is the good thing. We can always just like increase the time frame if we say, okay, we need more time, we need more frames. Okay. So she's changing foot, she's kicking, she's stepping, she's kicking again, and here we are at the point where she is probably moving to the side considerably. She's already moving on her second foot again. Yeah. This gets bent, this gets untwisted, this gets side. This is unbent, a bit twisted and a bit to the side. Probably a bit more to the side. So we are whoop, like okay, and we can pin the foot again and pin the toes of the first one. Yeah, if you check it out, the whole thing is not perfectly symmetrical, and this is because as a human you can't move perfectly symmetrical. Yeah, you have like the first kick, step, second kick, step, and let's just go with something interesting here. She's going to do a full split. So what's going to happen is she glides into the full split, which means there is no bendy in this leg anymore. This is going way to the side. There's also no more bendy in this. This is probably even a bit bent to the front. We remove the twist completely. This is also way off to the side. Yeah. How far do we bend this? Minus 15. Okay, so this is going to get to minus 15 as well with no twist. And what's going to happen is that this is going to slowly unbend because the other head was already unbent. How much side do we have this on? 45 and minus 45. Okay. Okay. And we see that the foot is moving weirdly, so we are going to have to side the foot, twist this quite a bit. Okay. And we're at 80. We're at 80. Yeah, we're at 80. Okay. So what's going to happen is she's going to slide the legs to the side. We're going to split this open to 70 here and this to minus 70. So now we're going to work with precise numbers because we want this as evenly as possible. This is completely unbent. Why is this not? Oh, because the pelvis is okay. And now we are where we want to be. Okay, and you can see this is already a bit weird because the hip is actually rotated. Okay, and now now the whole thing is interesting. Oh, okay, this one is to the side. Is this one to the side? Yes, it is as well. Okay, interesting. Okay, and with 85 we're going into the full split before we come back to the starting movement. Okay, so full split because well, we can't do this, she can. I mean, I would never try to do this because I would probably die. Or worse, I would seriously hurt myself or something. Okay, so the foot should be completely untwisted, completely unbent, completely whatevered. The toes as well. Okay, let's see. The whole thing. What did we get this far? Ouch. Okay, so at this point, she has to come back up. And I personally have no idea how you would do this from a sporting perspective, how this would work, and how you would do it if you had to like push yourself off the ground. But for her, it's relatively simple because she's apparently better than everyone else. She can just push her up, push herself up. What the? Okay. She can push her up, herself up, like it's nothing. Okay, so we're going to have to undo this to 65, going this by minus 65. Okay, good thing. Okay. Okay, so she's going to move back up really quickly because I only have like 25 frames left to go into normal position again. And again, yeah, if this looks weird in the end, this is fine because we can just... Okay, this is probably a bit much. Okay, so hip down a bit more. Okay, this is way better. Ah, this is like completely twisted for whatever reason. Oh, and the leg should probably be way back. This should probably also be like here. Okay. And at this point she should be standing again. So let's see what makes her stand. Okay. Hip. Grab. Floor. Perfect. And remember, we just did so like we're in 50 minutes, and we didn't even finish the legs yet. But this is how it goes. Oh, there was a visitor once. Basically, just looked and fled again. Why not? I would flee if I could. Probably. Okay. So let's see. Doing the dance step. Doing the second kick dance step. And moving into the split. Bouncing right back up. And at this point she stands on her right leg and she has the left leg crossed in front. So we're just taking this, we're going to grab her and we're going to pose her by... Okay, so this is the final thing where we want to go. And we can basically just, okay. And you can basically, yeah, skip the rest and say, okay, this is, okay, we have like, we could also just like shorten this to 106 panels and have the last one be this one. And now we can basically just watch how the whole body moves. So basically we just skipped a bit of the fourth second, which is fine by itself because yeah, I said 3 seconds. I am just around about 4 seconds, which yeah is a bit short, but nobody knows. Okay, let's see. She dances, as she kicks, she goes into the, and we have like as you can see, it's a complete loop. Okay, so what is she going to do with her arms? She's going to probably unbend her arms at this point. Bend bend this, bend this. And when she's transferring her weight, she's probably going to put this arm back, this arm in front, twist, and bend it at the elbow. So some more twist, some more front, some more bend, much more twist actually, more bendy of the forearm, no, twisty also, but also bendy of the forearm. This one goes way up. And now we're going to unbend this. This is going to go down again and twist. I'm not going, by the way, I'm not going to mess with the hands. If I go into the detail and mess with the hands, then I'm going to sit here for the next week and will still not be finished. So I just rotate the hands a bit and use the camera to just obfuscate that the hands are not changing position at all. Good enough. And okay, this is going to unbend slowly. Also, you can see this with the clothing, yeah, right? If I bend the arms too much, the clothing has a weird thing to it on the shoulder, on the armpit, which is kind of a problem, which is why I usually do like tightly sleeved clothing, because then it doesn't do whatever this is, the clipping thing. Yeah, just so you know, if you do wide clothing, you will always have clipping problems. One of the solutions is, if it's like a hanging sleeve or something, you can just add a bone, animate this, like give it a bone, like I showed in the tutorials, and so yeah, I have tutorials about Hexagon and Daz Studio in my channel, but if you probably know this already. So if you have like hanging sleeves, yeah, like this, then you can just add a bone and have the sleeve have its own bone, be animatable itself, which helps a lot with stuff that goes on. Like you can bend it back if it would clip in the figure and stuff. It's helping. It's adding bones can help you a lot. Okay, anyway, what's she gonna do? Okay, she's going to go back with this one. Bend it up, bend out the arm, lower the other arm, bring it in front and start to twist it, and bend the arm. So completely. Wait, what? Why is this? Why is this? What? Okay, for some weird reason, this was. Why are these set to unlimited? Why? Huh. Okay. Maybe I hit a button and think these whatever. Wait, so... okay. This should probably not happen with your arm. Wait, did I change? No, I didn't. By the way, if you, I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, so why ever are these parameters unlocked? I don't get this. Parameter settings, use limits. Thank you very much. Why ever would these not be? I don't know. Probably something I did. As usual. Okay, bend, twisted, front, back, more bendy on the bendy. Okay. So, for example, let's say we're going to check this and everything is good. And now we're just like splitting and saying, oh fuck, I screwed up. I used a different yeah. So for one, it's not a problem if you just skip a if you have like 4 or 6 frames in a usual 5-cycle frame, nobody will see. There's a very complex method of deleting everything and starting anew, which I don't recommend. Yeah, deleting a keyframe is a rather problematic thing. So you can select the frame and you can say delete. So you can basically then mark everything and say what I will do, delete keys for selected nodes. So basically it grabs all the things that exist in your scene and it clears whatever the thing is for the node. Please be careful with that. Yeah, it's sometimes it's better to just be off by one node and have like an additional keynote that doesn't really matter. It's better than shooting yourself in the leg. Also, you should probably save every now and then. As I always say, I mean, this is actually not that PC intensive. Yeah, so this is not building a model. This is animation. This is its own different thing because the process in itself is not so intense. But what I will force my PC to do tomorrow is make 106 renders for this and then put it in a video file. And this is something my PC will definitely not like. Yeah, so... Okay, never mind. Yeah. Please remember that at the end, your PC will have to render one picture for every frame. What I recommend is you can just, so for one, you could just do 3D Light, which is so much easier on your PC. If you do NVIDIA IRA, you can also like reduce pixel size. You could do this by a 800 by 800. Yeah, this is you know what, let's just whatever, render settings, still image, movie, start, end, path, movie name, dancing, whatever. Okay, let's make sure that we have the whole thing. Okay, let's move this just a bit. Okay, and we are okay, so we can move this here. Okay, so just for the sake of it, we're going to throw in a backdrop, we're going to throw in a background texture, which we will use this one. And now we're going to render this with 800 by 800 pixels. It's not perfect, it's not great, but yeah. Just to show you what happens. With the help of a friend. Thank you for that again. You can see that that it jumps frame by frame in the timeline. When you do this, you have to set the render settings to render type movie. You can say where it starts and ends. You can say, give it a name, a movie pass, whatever. Yeah. And even if this takes 10 seconds per frame, that means we have 6 frames per minute. That means we have 10 minutes, 11, 12, 15. We have about 17 minutes now. That this is just rendering, so we have like a first idea of what's actually going on. So yeah. And this is kind of the boring part. I mean, I could just play a game or do something else, whatever. But yeah, this is the thing that will take time. And remember, I'm rendering 800 by 800 pixels. So if I do this with the 1600 by 1600 pixels, which I intend to for tomorrow, that means it will take exponentially longer. So I could sit here for like 2 hours, not be able to use my PC because it's rendering, and I'm not going to do anything else while this is going on. Yeah, I'm not going to play a game, I'm not going to do anything, because this is taking up... So I'm not using my CPU because my PC crashes for some weird reason when I try rendering with it. So I'm using only my GPU, and I'm not going to play a game while my GPU is completely focused on rendering, yeah. I'm going to sit downstairs, play my Switch, and I don't know, eat some chips, whatever. But yeah. At this point, we're at frame 17, frame 18 from the 3 minutes. So we're actually really accurate with 10 seconds per frame with 800 by 800, which actually isn't that bad. Let's see what comes out. Let's see what we have so far. And I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. But yeah, this will take time. Yeah. And you can't change the scene. You can't work on this. I wouldn't recommend doing anything at the time. I mean, other than what I'm currently doing, like recording and streaming should be fine enough. I hope. And yeah, the whole thing is interesting, is fun. I mean, we'll see what comes out tomorrow. If you have the video working software, you can also put like a short few seconds of music under it. You can also render longer things, whatever you want. For example, if I do like a webcomic or something, I still have the idea of doing that at some point in the far, I don't know, future. Maybe at the point where I don't have to work anymore because I'm just getting paid because I'm a human being, and that would be so nice. I can just devote my time to completely doing 3D stuff. Now this would be great. I would be so chill to just sit down, make my models, animate them, rig them, animate them, make content. Yeah, just making content for content's sake and not for living. I'm currently at the great position to not doing this for a living. I'm doing this in my free time, whenever I'm interested, I'm doing what I want. I'm not doing commissions, which is also a really great thing in the end. Because I tried to do a few commissions. It wasn't really down my line. It wasn't really that interesting. Or it wasn't really. It's problematic working on a project where I'm not putting my heart in it, because it's not really what I want, but it's what someone else wants. So I'm not doing commissions because of that. But yeah, if I can just create my own content and don't have to worry about getting paid, don't have to worry about, oh god, am I productive, am I unproductive, what's my time management, can I do this, should I do something else? Yeah. Yeah, so this would be really cool. But it's cool enough, it's fun enough. And we'll see what comes out tomorrow. I mean, we will see what comes out later, but we will also see out what comes out with the camera and all tomorrow. I'm really curious what we'll see, what will happen. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just like, I didn't sleep that well the last few days, but that's okay. I'm planning my US journey, so want to see a few places and meet a few friends. The usual, you know. So yeah, this is also why the stream isn't that long. I mean, next month I will probably do another 3D content creation stream where I just build a model, which usually takes 2 to 3 hours, so there's enough content. Yeah, but I mean, I could just work on this 1 more hour, but I'm really like tired and unfocused, so doing this tomorrow will probably yield better results and actually be a lot quicker. Yeah, I mean, we're already at halftime. No, not really, like almost, but not quite. I've talked so much without saying anything. It's amazing. You could mean I'm trying to make a YouTube video or something. Yeah. What else is there for the technical part of this? One thing that I noticed that you can't do is like change textures in between. When you change a texture, even in a later, keyframe, when you change like the opacity or the bump map or the color, then it changes it for the whole scene. It changes this from start to end. You can't just like do a fading effect. You would need a module or a plugin for that. So there's Daz Studio plugins for something like that, for changing textures and changing materials while you doing timeline. What you could in theory do is build the whole thing, then render from start to like 0 to 10, then have like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rendered separately, with the change in color or the change in hue or the change in opacity, whatever you want. And when you're done, you can put it all back together, but I don't think you can do this with the studio. You would have to use another software that puts all the pictures as frames and put them together. So if you do this by Daz Studio, so basically what I said with Anotype is just I said, hey, make a movie, make an AVI, .avi format, and what actually will be in the folder. Okay, I can show you that probably. pictures, Daz, iterations, animations. Where is it? This folder is empty, isn't that great? For example, the draw. For example, the... So, this one is very old animation, one of the first animations I ever did. And you can have this put out as pictures, which will then just give you like the pictures that you did, and you can see this is really, yeah, not that great. So what I basically did is I used the second software to make the tail wake into a full circle render. The walking thing is also like well, this is one of my first ever animations, and what I'm doing right now is just I'm holding the arrow key, so it just skips through all the pictures. And by the way, you can see this that I didn't know how pins worked, because you can see that she's like a bit moonwalking a bit. Yeah. You can also see a lot of clipping in this. But yeah, this is one of my first animations. And we'll see how this one works. I mean, we're already at the 74 frame of 105, so I basically filled another 4 or 5 minutes with random rambling and showing you a few things. But yeah, changing details on textures and stuff in the render needs a plugin for this. As far as I know, I looked into this and I read in a forum post that you need a plugin, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not getting that. Yeah, this is probably a thing that would need more in-depth control, but overall you can do pretty amazing things with this. And should I ever get the spring dynamic thing to run, I will definitely make a video about this and put it somewhere, maybe under tutorials, I don't know. Probably not, but somewhere where you can find it. Yeah, I actually checked and it is installed, the Spring Dynamics, but for some reason it's not in my Daz Studio content. I don't know why. I have to check. And everything else is there, so it's not like, and I bought stuff after it, so it's not like the latest thing I bought or something. I've no idea why it's not there. But yeah, we're already almost just 20 frames away from the finish, so like 3 more minutes. So yeah, I was pretty good with my estimate of 70 minutes. And yeah, then we will definitely see the first result of this. So if you've checked my my folders, let me hide this. Where is it? Pictures, Daz, iterations, animations. You can see that the draw had multiple, like this was one of the first things that I made, where I just rotated the character, and then I did the actual, this is the animation from last year, if you remember. And I also used pinning here. You can see basically where the legs get pinned and unpinned. But this is about all I knew. This is where I tried to make a map thingy from a video game which has world wrap, but the map doesn't make any I couldn't get the map to make any complete sense, so I tried to wrap it around like a cylinder and stuff, but yeah. I try to play around with stuff. This is how I learned most of the stuff that I did, basically just by trial and error, by messing up, by breaking things. Give me a second. Yeah. Last 10 frames, last 2 minutes. It's getting interesting, it's getting intense here. Did I put this on the... Of course I didn't. Yeah. We'll see how this comes out when it comes out. Yeah. And by the way, to make this into GIFs, so you saw that I had GIFs or GIFs. It's GIF. It's not GIF. Whoever says GIF, I don't know. You're wrong. You're just wrong. It's GIF. Well, oh yeah. I used a website that would make the AVIs into GIFs, so that I could actually upload them on like Instagram and stuff. Not that I use that anymore. Like rarely, if at all. But hey. So 70 minutes 30 seconds is what we're going for. Last 3 renders, and then we can check out what we did. Yeah, by the way, the soundtrack in the background is Stellaris, which, yeah, I'm not sure. I think I had this on last time. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I have the soundtrack for over my Steam, and it's really chill and relaxing. So it's what I usually have in the background, because I... Okay, whatever. Okay. And we're done. Let's check this out. Here it is. Okay, so we have to I have to definitely work on the arms and on the hair. The hair should like wave and stuff, but overall, okay, I can work with that, and I probably will have like the camera start here. No. Have it start here, and have it move around her while she does the thingy. But yeah. Let's play this again. And yeah, not bad, if I do say so myself. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want it later, I hope I don't ramble too much, and yeah, I hope this helps you if you ever want to do your own animation in Daz Studio. As always, thanks for watching. If you like the channel, if you like the content, just leave a like and a subscribe. Or subscribe to the channel. And stay healthy, stay safe, and see you guys around.